Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I have my boyfriend here with me. So the number one question that I'm always being asked is, when are you gonna film a boyfriend Q&A? When are you gonna do a boyfriend tag? When are you gonna include your boyfriend and actually make a fucking video with him? Everyone asked me to do it, everyone asked him to do it, so we're here, we're gonna do it. We kind of already figure what kind of questions you guys are gonna ask us because
how'd you meet? Where'd you meet? Who went up to who? You know, basically like the top 5
all the bullshit. And that's not bullshit. The number one question that's always
bullshit
is,
how dare they want to know about our relationship?
If he knew, or like, oh, he knows now, I mean, do you know?
How did I react? Didn't know what, babe? Is there something you need to tell me? Oh my god, I knew it.
What?
You're not actually blonde.
My friend Alexia and I got invited to Miami for a promotional job. Alexia basically got me this gig and she asked me, hey girl, like, you know, this company is looking for other models that are really big on Instagram. Would you be interested in coming? And she literally told me this the day before, like the night before we were supposed to leave. Like, she told me like at 3 a.m. and the flight was like at 7 a.m. So just like, okay, fuck it, let's go to Miami. As soon as we got to Miami, we got to our hotel room. Yada yada yada. We got ready and we went downstairs to meet with these CEOs of this company that we were supposed to work with. So I went to this restaurant called Kuro, which was downstairs at the Hard Rock Hotel. I'm in Miami, I can't wait to have fun. And I was with Alexia, it was just us two in Miami. We were both single and we were both, you know, we just wanted to have fun and just, you know, enjoy Miami. Because I've never been to Miami. They had this private booth outside of the restaurant. They were being very, like, you know, flirtatious. They were being very that, and, you know.
I mean, come on, babe, like, they couldn't help themselves. I can barely do it sometimes, too.
So they were, like, these little tiny, like, Armenian guys. They were, like...
Originally, I wasn't her server. I came out because I saw, like, a pretty blonde girl, and I was like, hey, like, what's up? So I just thought, like, you know, I could come over and be all suave and cool.
I see this waiter come to our table. I was like...
Yeah, keep in mind, like, I kind of, like... blindsided you because the way the tables are set up, you go outside and it's left and right. And you know, I open the doors and I come out and your back's to me.
Imagine someone putting food down and I'm just like this. You know, when you feel someone staring at you?
Yeah, I definitely felt
so, like,
it.
even though he's like looking down and stuff, I'm literally like this.
I'm putting the food down. It's like, I'm like...
I could just feel him like getting shy and shit.
Blushing at this point.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
How tall are you?
I'm just getting done
like,
explaining the food. You know, I'm trying to keep, like, professional. And then this girl is just like, no question, didn't give a shit about the food.
With the two CEOs on each side, and, like, you know, one of them's, like, totally, like, hitting on me and shit. Oh, yeah. And I was just like...
He was pissed. Yeah.
How tall are you? To the waiter.
And I'm like, oh, I'm 6'4".
By this point, this dude was fucking red, honey. Like, he was as red as a fucking tomato. I literally just cut him off and I go...
Oh my god, yes, like...
He tells me, like, oh, I'm 6'4", and I look at him. I look at my friend. I look back at him. I look back at my friend. This is him, like, with the food, like this. Like, the two guys next to me are so fucking jealous. And I'm just like... That's it. And he, like, leaves. When he comes back here, like, he's walking back because the restaurant's right here, but, like, the table's, like, a special VIP table that's, like, reserved, and it's, like...
outside.
You have to go outside, and you have to literally walk, like, a fucking mile just to get to the table. I can, like, see him, like, coming out, and, like, this guy, like, as he's walking, he already knows he's, like, in for it. Like, he's...
Oh, like, yeah. Time to talk about the food. I'm working. You know, professional. Like, you know, there's a gorgeous girl hitting on me. Of course, I'm gonna be interested. But in my head the whole time, like, I gotta work, you know, I'm at a very professional environment, you know, my manager's, like, on my ass, I gotta make sure, like, I'm perfect.
If I'm completely honest, the first cute guy I saw, and I was literally in Miami for 30 fucking minutes, I wanted him. I excused myself and I went to the restroom, because I saw that he was, like, in the middle of the restaurant talking to another waiter. I go up to him and he's, like, right there with his friend.
And my back's to her. Oh my god.
So he's right there talking to, like, his other waiter friend.
Yeah,
I like this.
Blonde hair.
Hey, where's the restroom?
Right through, you go through the gap and it's to the right.
Okay, thanks. And then I walked into the restroom.
Hot girl, we gotta check to see if she has an ass. So, like, my friend and I were, like, both looking and we're like, I look at him and we're like, oh, where?
as I was walking like past him, like I know they're like staring at my fucking ass, and like there was a table right next to them, and like there were guys there, and they all go, damn. By the time I got back to my table, everyone pretty much was already ready to go. And I was like, fuck, I'm not done fucking with this guy yet. They're walking away, and I'm just like, fuck, you know, missed opportunity. So after leaving the restaurant, you know, all jokes aside, my heart kind of broke in that sense. You know, like when you meet someone, like at a random place, let's say you meet someone at a coffee shop, or you meet someone, like anywhere, like at an airport or anything, or you just meet someone at school, like you know you want to get to know them. You know you want to know their life, even, not even in a sexual way, but like even as a friend, you just there's something about that person that gravitates you to them, and like you just want to, you know them. And I definitely had that feeling, like the first like moment I saw like this guy, something in like, I mean, like if I'm cheesy, like something in my heart just told me like, this is the guy. Like something like just hit me. And I guess I was so upfront with it because I needed to know this guy. On my way out, it kind of felt like defeat, because I'm just like, fuck, you know, like I lived my whole life kind of like having this feel, like not even having this feeling like with friends or like with anyone, and like I lived my whole life like sheltered, and like I'm not gonna let this one walk away from me, you know, like I'm not gonna go to bed tonight and then think about this guy and be like, what if I would have gone up to him. I just want to know something about him. I didn't want to go to bed knowing that I wasn't like at least his friend. I looked at my friend Alexia and I was like, girl, how much do you love me? And she was like, why? And I was like, I need you to go back and ask that guy for his number, because there's just, I don't know, like, there's something about him. And like the entire dinner, by the way, like I kept talking to her about him. I was just like, oh my god, he's coming, shit. And I was just like,
totally oblivious to this, by the way. I had no clue. Like I just thought she was just into me and whatever, but like when she told me afterwards, she was like actually like jittery to a point where she was like, oh my god, shut up, stop talking, he's coming.
I mean, yeah, it's true. Like, you know, like I just...
Oh, trust me, no, I feel the exact same way. Every time I would go out to the table, I would like prep myself. I'm like, and then I'd go out, because, like she said, when I first saw her, like it definitely, like there was a warm, fuzzy feeling. And again, not like a movie, so I'm pretty dorky, but no, I definitely felt a connection as soon as we locked eyes. Because, you know, you can't fake that.
Once I left the restaurant, I just kept bugging me, and I kept bugging me, and I'm just like, dude, I left.
The worst part was, like, we walked past each other. Like, I was going out to the table, and you guys were leaving. And then, like, in my whole head, I was like, ask her for a number. And then they left, and I was like, damn. My heart dropped when you left.
I couldn't focus on the gambling with those people. I couldn't focus on having fun. I kept asking my friend, please. So she finally left. It wasn't even next door. It was like, you know, like 5-8 fucking restaurants back. She went and asked for his number, and then I was literally waiting impatiently. Like I was just like, oh my god, like what if he doesn't like me? What if he's like, what the fuck? What if, like I just kept thinking of all these scenarios. By the time she came back, she was like, here you go, here's his number. When
she came, all someone told me was that there was a woman here to see you. And I was like, okay, like, well, I don't know who's asking for me. So my hope, I felt like it was her. But of course, like she said, it was Alexia. And Alexia came up to me and she was like, hi, so it's kind of funny, but my friend thought you were cute. Can you get your number? I was like, oh, of course. You know, I'm trying to be all like, oh, yeah, sure. But I'm like, yes, give me the phone.
I woke up the day afterwards and I texted him like around like 3 or 4 or something.
Granted, it was my day off.
I texted him an emoji. And then I got
it was that. And then from then on, you know, we were texting, and I hate texting, so I was like, screw it. I'm like, hey, can I call you? She was like, yeah, of course. You know, I call her and I just ask her, you know, I'm like trying to talk to her and whatever, and try to work a way to ask her out.
We were talking and basically telling me his name, telling me like about himself. And
you followed me on Instagram. You asked for my IG.
I asked for his Instagram. He was basically telling me like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you asked for my number, because I really want to ask for yours, but you know, I couldn't because I worked there. I didn't want to lose my job, blah, blah, blah. And like we were just talking, and he was telling me like, oh my god, I'm just so happy you called. Like, I've never had a guy be like that. Basically telling me, like, wish I hang out sometime, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm actually from California, blah, blah, blah.
So of course, I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta find out like how long she's here. Like, I gotta take her out. I don't mean to be too straightforward, but you're very beautiful, and I would love to take you out. When are you available?
And I was like, he tells me to be ready at 7. And right around like 6:30, I was like, hey, would you mind coming here like around 8 or something? And he's like, oh, I'm already here.
I used to live 20 minutes from my job, but keeping in mind like Miami traffic, you know, had to get on, you know, the highway to basically like go jump on the exit and go. I left somewhere early because my motto is I'd rather be like an hour early.
By the time I texted him, he was already there. He was like parking at the parking lot.
I was sitting in the parking lot listening to music.
He was like, oh, well, like, I'm already here. Like, I'm just like, but I'll wait for you. I don't mind. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. Like, this little boy, like, already got, like, like a year.
Little?
Like, no, I told him 8, and he got there at 6:30. I was ready around 8:30.
8:30. I was in the parking lot after 6:30. And so I'm just chilling in the car listening to music. I'm trying to get in the zone because this time now I'm nervous. I'm like, oh shit, she might cancel on me. Like,
yeah, keep in mind he's like texting me, asking me like, oh, like I'm like,
oh, so you know, I'm talking to you to just, I don't know, like I'm still thinking like, oh, you know, you need to focus on getting ready.
But this whole time I'm like doing my eyeliner, like making sure it's perfect. And I was making this poor boy wait like fucking 2 hours for me, but basically I went downstairs. He was literally waiting for me at the elevator. Like he was already ready and like waiting for me, and like he looked so cute and he was wearing a little scarf and like he got all ready for me.
Keep in mind, I had gotten to the elevator while she was getting ready, so I had been standing. Keep in mind, I'm at my job. The elevator where she gets off.
Oh yeah,
was like,
because I kept telling him.
You could see my job.
It was like 7:30, and I was like, oh yeah, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. I kept telling him like 5 more minutes, and like he was like, okay, well I'm downstairs now, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, 1 more minute. I'll be down in 1 minute.
I had let you know I was downstairs, and you made me wait another 15 minutes while I'm standing in front of my job. Like my coworkers could have easily. When she finally comes down, you know, like I'm clearly star-studded. Like I was looking at her like oh where? Oh.
It was totally wrong of me to make someone wait 2 hours, and don't ever do that for anyone, because thank God he's a nice guy, but like if you make anyone wait 2 hours, they'll probably leave you. And
maybe I was in love at first sight.
And I was just really happy because I kept thinking, oh my God, I'm finally with this guy. Like, I mean, I wanted him last night and I'm fucking going out with him. I was just like so happy because I'm just like, see, like if you want something bad enough, you're gonna get it. He seems to like me just as much as I like him, so like it was working really perfectly.
Yeah, I wanted to do more, but okay.
The Hard Rock has Kuro, but it also has like 4 or 5 other restaurants. And we were walking to a different restaurant, but keep in mind, these are all nice restaurants. And I felt kind of bad because like okay, I've been on a lot of dates, but like that was a really sweet date because like he did spend a good like $300 on like dinner. Not to like shame, you know, server or anything. I just thought it was really sweet because, you know, like I'm sure he thought that like that's what I expected because the night prior, you know, they spent $2,000 on dinner. Like I really don't expect that, you know, and I didn't expect that from him. It was honestly the cutest, sweetest date I've ever fucking been on because it was just like, I don't know, it was just really sweet that you really did try and you really did do a lot for me. Like, he was trying really hard to impress me, and I was definitely impressed just by the effort and by, like, you were doing a lot. And, like, I've never had a guy treat me so, like, you're very much a gentleman that day. I don't know, like, he was perfect. Like, it was making me, like, fall more and more in love with him.
So, in my head, being the young 18-year-old kid that I am, I'm like, okay, this girl's gorgeous, so she's probably been... No, not to sound bad, but you've probably been on like expensive dates. Being as how prior you went to Kuro and the guy spent that much money, I thought you were used to that.
He ordered appetizers, he ordered wine, he ordered fucking entrees. We didn't eat shit. Like,
took everything to go, and
we still didn't eat it. And like you ordered like little shrimps, and I remember like I would dip them in the sauce.
We played the game.
I had him play like which sauce does the shrimp have, and I would like get both sauces, and I would put one in his mouth, and then he'd tell me, "Oh, it has sauce."
Like,
or it doesn't
we
have
had
sauce.
we had to do like a sniff test, you know, like, oh, let's see if we can smell it. Let's see, like, if I could guess.
Close your eyes, and then he closed his eyes, and I got like 5 of them, and he opens his mouth, and I go.
I know this little prissy little white girl because I thought she was white, so I'm thinking this little prissy California. Like stereotypical, like blonde, girly girl did not just shove food in my mouth and basically almost tried to kill me. He basically tried to kill me that night. As soon as she did it, I was like, and in my head I was like, yeah, I'm taking this home to mom. She's the one. She's the one. We're leaving the restaurant, and then this time I'm like, I can't let the date end. So I'm like, oh, do you want to? We didn't get dessert there. Did you want to get a dessert? And she's like,
I was like, yeah, fuck it.
The ice cream place we got there, they were getting ready to close, and you know, we walk in. She orders.
He gets me the biggest fucking ice cream. Not once did we touch that fucking ice cream.
No, that shit melted.
We stayed out until probably about 4 or 5 a.m. Like, we were out all fucking night. We were literally talking for like 5 hours, and we were just like getting to know each other. If I'm honest, I kind of felt bad in a way. Like, I felt a little guilty because the whole time I kept thinking to myself, we were like outside, we were talking, and I was like, oh, tell me something personal about yourself. And he told me something personal, and then he was like, no, you tell me something personal. I kind of bullshit. I kind of felt guilty because like I knew exactly what I could have told him, but I didn't tell him. And towards the end of like our conversation, when we were talking for like 5-6 hours, you cried.
Yeah, I did. I'll own up to it.
I've never had a guy cry on our first date.
Well, it wasn't like, but like a few tears.
It was a few tears. You know, he's never opened up to anyone.
Guys, if you ever want a pretty girl, just cry. Just cry.
He was telling me, like, you know, he's never opened up to anyone like the way that he has, and he's never met someone so honest, and he's never told anyone that stuff about him in the first date. He was just telling me like all this stuff about him, basically telling me like, oh my gosh, you're leaving in a few days, like, and he just started like, you know, getting teary-eyed. And like at that point I was just so shocked, and like so like I just couldn't like I couldn't like,
I'm joking a little bit.
I couldn't believe that like
it was all like initially I felt like there's a connection here. There's no way, like, we got along way too well for it just to be like a one-time thing.
So I know what everyone's thinking. I know what everyone already like assumes, and so he was like telling me like, oh, like I've never been so honest with someone, and like it just kept eating inside me because there was like, I'm not telling him the most important thing about me. Like, my whole life revolves around my, basically like my transition story. And when you go and meet someone and they don't know that part about you, which is one of the most important things about you, like, you can't really, I couldn't share my whole life with him. I couldn't, he didn't know that, like,
for your own safety though. Like, I when you finally told me, when you finally
like, you didn't know like where I came from, like that I worked so hard to get where I'm at. Like, you didn't know, like, I couldn't tell him that stuff. He didn't know that like I worked for this. He didn't know that what I had to go through, like what I've been through, you know, and I couldn't tell him. As the day went on, and like as he's like crying to me and tell me how like honest you are, and like how like I just felt like shit. Like it really fucked with me because like I couldn't tell, like I couldn't, and then I couldn't break it to him at this point. Like it was like stealing it to me. Like I couldn't just tell him like this shit because like I didn't want to ruin it as it is. And like I don't know, I just felt like really guilty, and I kind of like, and then it kind of hit me like fuck, and then like I'm only here for a few days. Honestly, like it was only supposed to be like a one day type of thing, or like just hang out with him or just go on one date. But like I really like, I kind of expected it, but I didn't really think that it really happened, that like we would have that type of connection. And like that's when it hit me like fuck, I have to like it's just all got to me, and like I didn't know what to do. I just felt like I was lying to myself, I was lying to him, and this was all like a big dream, and I was taking advantage of it, and I was going along with it. I was just like extending it, like the lie that I'm like this perfect person, or like that, like, you know, even though I did tell him a lot about me, I couldn't bring my like
you know I love you, right?
Yeah. He made me cry, and we're both just like crying, and like I was basically just telling him like, don't worry, like everything's gonna be okay, and like I'm like, but I don't want you to leave. I didn't want to ruin anything by like going too far, but I just like, I don't want you to leave. Do you mind sleeping over tonight? And he was like, yeah, like of course. And we went back to our...
Keep in mind, if you work, at the prior casino, the rules were you can't stay there because the casino was also a hotel, as she made clear. So I wasn't allowed to go and stay a night in the hotel because I could get fired. But I said, you know what, screw it. Even walking like past my job, I still went and, you know, went to the elevators and stayed the night with this beautiful woman.
We went to my room, which I was sharing with Alexia. The room's right here, and then the living room's right here. And there's sliding doors separating the living room to the room. So she slept on the bed and we slept on the couch.
Two people slept on a couch while one person stayed in the bed, like the math.
Keep in mind, he's fucking huge. It's like 5 a.m. by that time that we got back to the room, and like, you know, we still ended up talking for even more, like 2 more hours, and we're just like there just talking and getting to know each other, you know, kissing, but like just like holding each other and like cuddling. It was surreal. Like I was just really happy. We woke up the next day, around like 2 or whatever, and this is like when shit got real. The night prior to this, me and Alexia had an altercation. We had talked about a specific person who, you know, obviously knew about both of us. She knew that Malik was in the room. Me and Alexia are completely cool. We're completely okay. I've forgiven her, and I learned whatever came out of this, we're okay, and I don't want anyone to like bash my friend or anything. He's asleep, I'm asleep, and like we're both kind of like awake at that time. Across the room, Alexia goes,
"Hey Eden, blah blah blah, said you're friends with that tranny EDENTHEDOLL. Don't you think it's really funny how he said that? Aren't you friends with that tranny EDENTHEDOLL, so he knows about you?"
As soon as she said that, Malik gets up and he goes, "What did she say?" I'm just like, "Malik's still here, by the way." And she goes,
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Does he know? Oh my god, are you okay? Is he still there? Does he know now? Are you okay?
I was just like,
Basically this.
yeah, I'm gonna explain this in my perspective.
Okay.
I don't mean to make him sound mean or anything, and like I don't mean to like make anyone here sound disrespectful, because obviously we're together now. He's, you know, we're living in the same apartment now, like everything's different, like, you know, but this is a specific day, specific conversation. I'm still friends with Alexia, and I obviously we're together now. And he's like half asleep, but he's like so shocked, and he gets up and he's like, "What the fuck did she say?" And like at that moment, I like, you know, even though I still was getting to know this guy, I'm just like, fuck, I knew it was too good to be true. Oh, it's just Alexia, you know, she's crazy. It was a joke, it was a joke. I try to change the subject, and I'm like, let's go get food or something, let's order food. From that moment forward,
There was an elephant in the room. From that moment forward, there was like a little elephant in the room.
He just started acting differently. Like he just like I could feel it. I could feel the tension. Alexia opened the door, and then she's like,
"You're still here?"
And I was like, what the, like, she's like,
"I'm gonna go to the spa and get a spa treatment."
So like she left and we got our food. You weren't holding my hand by then, and you weren't like, you weren't being like super sweet, and you weren't like being all over me like how you were like originally. He just like wasn't being the same, and I could feel it. He was like trying to like be cool and like be sweet and stuff, and like, but he wasn't being himself. We had planned to go on a date that night, and then I'm just like, well, I'm gonna go get ready because I have to get ready for like the date or whatever. So the restroom's really big. There was a part where you can basically, the mirror's right here, that where you wash your hands is right here, you put all your makeup here and stuff, and then like right here is where, you know, like there was like a tub, like a bathtub.
Yeah, bathtub.
And you could sit, like he was basically sitting there as I was doing my makeup. So it's like the biggest reason why I, at least at the time, didn't tell anyone my business, because of the way he was looking at me. I remember like doing my makeup and like doing my eyeliner and stuff, and like I can remember him like looking for like an Adam's apple or something, and like I'm doing my makeup in the mirror, and I could feel someone staring like right at here, and I would look, and like he looks away. He was like staring at my feet, staring at my hands, like trying to find like something, like trying to clock me and stuff, and like it's like the most uncomfortable feeling, and like that's why like I don't fucking tell people. Like, when you tell people your business before you meet them, let alone someone you're interested in, like they go into the date or into like the occasion looking for stuff, you know, like that's how he was looking at me. Like he was just like, he wasn't holding my hand, and let alone like, he was just like trying to like look for something, and like I kept feeling like I this is like the most like Ugh. So as this all going on, at one point he asked the question. He said this exactly. How many surgeries have you had? As he stares at me. And I look at him and I'm just like, I got my boobs done, I already told you that. And then he's like, yeah, but what else? As he like looks at me. Like, can we talk about this later? And then he gets up and he's like, so is it true? And at that point I was like this, like.
Keep in mind, like, I had never been in the situation, or like, not even a situation, but like, I've never been encountered.
Is it true you used to be a man? And I'm just like, what the fuck, no. That was a fucking joke, you fucking idiot. He's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, fuck, that's disgusting. Like, I thought, like, I can't believe I thought, like, oh my god, of course you're not. I'm so sorry. Like, that's fucking disgusting. That's so fucking gross. Like, ugh. I thought you were gonna tell me that you used to be like a dude or something. Like, oh my god, that's fucking disgusting. Thank God. Oh my god, I'm so happy right now. Like, oh my god, I almost puked. Oh my god. I don't know why. Like, it's because you're a friend. She said that. And like, oh my god. Like, thank God. Thank Jesus Christ. By then I was like, it's really strange because like, of the timing that Alexia had, literally like a second after he said this, I hear a knock on the door and it's Alexia. And like before I even had a chance to react, I open the door and Alexia comes in. And then she like looks at Malik and she goes,
what the fuck did you do to her? Why is she crying? Are you okay? Eden, are you okay?
I couldn't speak. Like, I couldn't get any words out. Like, I was just like shocked. I guess she noticed it on impact and she was like, what did you do to her? And he's like, I didn't do anything. And then she's like, are you okay? What's wrong? Are you okay? What did he do to you? And I'm just like, by then I started crying. Like, but like I didn't just start crying, but like I started crying. Like, I haven't cried this much because like, ooh, it's been like it was a while. I liked him so much and like all the emotions, and like I just started thinking about my whole life, and I started thinking about how this shit like impacts my entire fucking life, and how I'll never get rid of this stuff, you know. Like, I can't fucking breathe. I won't ever live a normal life. And like it just really got to me at that moment. Can you please wait in the living room? And he's like, okay. Like, so he like goes to the living room, we close the door, and I was just like crying on her lap, and like I just told her how I felt and like why, and like I just told her like that you know, like I just kept crying because like I'm just like, this shit's gonna affect my whole life, and like I'll never have a normal life, and like I'll always have, this is why I don't fucking tell people, this is why I don't have to fucking like, this is why I don't go through this shit, you know, because this is why I don't get serious with anyone, this is why I don't have a boyfriend, this is why like I don't want to, you know, like this is why I don't get close to people, and this is why like after I stopped crying, I went to the living room and I basically opened the door and I said, hey, I think it'd be best if you were to leave. He was like, why? I'm not leaving. I'm just like, just please leave. He gets up and then he's like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, what do you mean leave? You have to give me an explanation. I'm just like, and he's like, so is it true? I was like, yes, it's fucking true. Like, I started hitting him and I'm just like I'm a transsexual, like I'm a tranny, like is that what you want to hear? Do you want to hear? Like, and I just started crying and just like poking at him like, is it like, yes, it's true. Is that what you want to hear? Like, do you want me to cry? Like, do you like when I cry? Like, I just kept like poking at him and I just like started like hitting him and crying. I'm just like, is that what you want to hear? Like, is that like, do you like see me crying? Like, is this what you want? Is this what you wanted? And then like I just couldn't stop crying, and like I couldn't stop hitting you. Just get the fuck out. You've done enough. Like, just leave me alone. Before I knew it, like as I'm crying, I feel tears running down like my back, and then like you were crying, and like God,
I usually like don't get teary-eyed. I don't cry unless like it involves you. Like the last time I cried was when rest in peace, but a really close friend of mine had died years and years before this. I didn't even know how I felt to cry until I met you.
Baby. He's just holding me and he's just like hearing me out. You looked at me in the eyes and then you grabbed my face and you were just like, just tell me everything. That was the first time I could be 100% honest with him. Like that was already on my shoulders the entire time I was with him, but like it was completely gone. I didn't know what would come of it. I didn't know if he was gonna leave afterwards. I didn't know. Like, I just wanted to be honest and I just wanted to pour my heart out and like just be honest for once. and I just told him my whole story, and I let you know like what I've gone through and like the surgery. I let him know like what I've been through, the pain I've been through, like everything. I just like poured myself out to him. My makeup was completely ruined. You said something like this, like you were just like, you're a woman, like no matter what, at the end of the day, you're a woman.
I said, if I take all your clothes off, take the makeup off, and take everything off, and I look at you, head to toe, you are a woman. From the way you speak, the way you act. It's like, you know, anyone can throw on a pair of clothes, you know, throw on an outfit and say whatever, but like, you can't fake that. You can't. You can put up a front for so long, but eventually, like, it goes away. And no matter what, you know, I can't look at her and not see a woman.
You were like, Sarah, are we gonna go to our date, or what are we gonna do? And I look at him and I'm like, okay, let's go. So I had to leave the next day, but after everything that I went through in Miami on April 20th, it was more than clear that like I wasn't done with you. So
no, you were stuck. You were stuck, and this is when I had.
You were stuck with me, dude.
Oh yeah, of course.
We were in a long distance relationship for about 7 months, right?
Yeah, I moved in a few weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago.
So after our first meeting, we basically made an arrangement that we would see each other within a month. We FaceTimed every single day for literally like that entire like month and a half that we went.
But I loved it.
Yeah, we FaceTimed every single day, and sometimes for like 8 hours, dude. Like we FaceTimed so fucking much.
Oh my god, and the time difference, since you were 3 hours behind me, like the fucking sun was
He
up my time.
He would stay up till like 7 a.m. to just to FaceTime me every single day, and like
She's like, babe, go to bed. I was like, no, I just want.
This month and a half that we did FaceTime every single day, it was crucial because it was time that me and him took to get to know each other before we actually spent more time together.
Being clear across the country, still trying to make it work.
He ended up taking 2 weeks off of work and flying over to Los Angeles to come stay with me for 2 weeks. And this was a month and a half after we met. And those 2 weeks basically sealed the deal, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't realize until I landed that this was like the make or break point to see if we could actually be in a relationship. Because, you know, it's one thing for like it to be a date and it'll be all magical, but when that magic and, you know, the honeymoon phase clears, can this really happen? Can we make this work? And, you know, probably almost 8 months now, and, you know, all these months later we're still here. You know, I live here now. Like, this is my side of the bed.
I would spend 1 week in Florida every other month. He would spend 1 week in LA every other month. So I saw him for a whole week every single month, but it was torture.
It's not enough.
It wasn't enough, but it did make us fall more and more in love with each other, and like
it makes you appreciate a relationship and like the little things we take for granted. Being that, like, you know, it could all be gone 1 second. You know, somebody has to leave and you can't see each other for the longest time. We actually experienced that. So now that we went from being so far apart to being a few inches away from each other, it makes us really appreciate the little things that people take for granted.
So that's basically our happy ending, and this is us basically announcing to you guys that, you know, we are moved in together now.
This is basically the start of everything.
So thank you guys so much for watching my video, and until next time, bye guys.